Yeah.
So in the making of the apostasy, would you say, the completion of this album, that is your apostasy?
No. Actually, I never done this. I mean, because this is something you can actually do. It's like it's like a sign out from church. I mean, formally, I have never done this. It's lots of bureaucracy, and church doesn't make it any easier for people to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Although there's quite a strong, quite massive apostasy movement in Poland lately, that many youngsters just realize that they're not part of Catholic Church anymore, so they want to just sign out. They don't want to be part of this institution.
Right.
But church doesn't make it easy for people.
Right.
They want to. I mean, the statistics are going down because people see that. I mean, the world is going more and more materialistic, and since Catholic Church has been very stagnated throughout the centuries, and even in recent decades, I mean, just look at what all the popes did. Their policy, is very regressive. And people, I mean, you can stick to ideals, that maybe were meant something 2,000 years ago,
right.
and still stick to them these days. You know what I mean? Like, the world is changing, and everyone. I mean, I would guess that people would like to evolve. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think it's our philosophy is very reasonable. It's not just as I said before, it's not primitive. There's lots of thoughts. There's lots of philosophy behind it. And but yeah, I was a kid, when I realized that I just don't like that. I don't like to be a slave. I like to be, I like to, just be myself, and explore myself, the way I want it, I don't need any limitations, and religion. I mean, that's what it's all about the limitations, just to fucking, keep you under control and eventually benefit from it, because that's what religion is all about, to benefit from, the control they have over, the society.
Right.
I see no point why we should do this. I think people are intelligent enough to make their own, life happy and beautiful, without help of saviors and all this crap.
Okay. Now, you were saying in Poland now a lot of the kids are starting to rise up against that.
Yeah, that's what I've actually read in the news section. Like several times, like that it's a massive. Apostasy has a massive following these days.
And then, like in Poland, censorship getting tighter though.
It's at the same time, yes. So maybe that's why people kind of it's a wake up call for them.
Right.
It's like, hey, something's wrong going on here, So that's why they wake up and they just realize that.
Have you noticed, like, when Behemoth started and it was 1991, correct?
Yeah.
What the music scene was then and how views of religion and stuff were there to today? Do you see the difference? Or, obviously you grow yourself, but...
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, my projection of things, changed definitely because I was a kid, and it seems like, I just grew more conscious of what's happening around me,
Right.
That's why I can actually back up my my philosophy, my attitude these days, with some knowledge that usually, comes from observation and my own experience. When I was 15, I was pretty much just rebelling for sake of rebelling because it was very instinct, like a very strong instinct that I had. I didn't know why. I was just rebelling against things. These days, it's been over the decade, or 1.5, 15, 16 years, since this band has been around, but these days I have my reasons. I have my reasons to do what I do. Back then I was like, it was more about instinct. It was more about just this fuck you attitude that I had. These days I still have the same attitude. I just I'm just a bit smarter guy. That's it. I hope so. At least.
Well, you can back it up now with knowledge, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about just traveling all around the world, you know, just, you know, observing and making your own conclusions and learn from your see. I think that's very clever.
Definitely. Now you guys you have your teaser out for Binghamton.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the video? And the song itself was written about Prometheus Unbound.
Yeah. I mean, this book was kind of influential, you know, for me to write this record, you know.
What was the book about? Because Prometheus was the one that was tied to the stone, right?
Yeah, he's in charge for, you know, delivering the fire, you know. Fire would stand for knowledge. There's definitely references to, you know, to all this, I call them fallen idols, like Lucifer, you know,
right.
for instance. So Prometheus is definitely a very black metal character. It's so.
Well, he was the one that had the hawks eat his liver, and then it regrew or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Prometheus, the hawks eat his liver or something.
Oh yeah. It was eaten by eagles.
So the book is that when he finally breaks his chains and is loose. Is that what that's about, or?
You know what? It's more or less. I mean, it's not about what the book is. I just love the way it's written. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And same like with you know Milton's poetry. It's like I just read it and I'm inspired by. I can be inspired by one verse. You know what I mean? It's just written, you know, I love the language, you know, and it's just magical. And I read it and I'm like, I may write a song from, you know, reading 2 verses. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And I'm just gonna write a song. So
they trigger thoughts then.
I may just, you know, it's all about, you know, being influenced by it. That's it, you know. But it's I mean, it's very loosely connected with the book. I would not say that it's like it's about the book or anything like that, you know. I just use it as metaphors, you know. I use lots of metaphors, you know, to express myself. That's it, you know. In the end of the day, every song is pretty much just about myself or my interpretation of things. That's it, you know. So Prometheus is a pretty dark song. It's about struggling.